Hello and welcome to Tarot Sherpa. I'm Christine and today I will be reading to you from the Atomic Elements Healing Oracle by Emile McCree and Katja Perez. So, what I'm going to do today is a spread that comes from the accompanying guidebook, and it's called the Cosmic Impetus and Forward Momentum Spread. And if you've watched any amount of my readings, I'm all about forward movement. Keep moving forward. So, let's have a look and see what these cards have to tell us. So we'll begin with a foundation card. The supportive pattern you have already integrated. Carbon, foundation, my goodness, card 39. So you've got a good foundation. You've got something solid. 2, forward momentum card. What activates your dharma? Vanadium, fluidity, card 41. I used to work with a guy who said, yep, we got to be fluid because being flexible is just too rigid. Be fluid. Your acceleration card. Dysprosium, acceptance, card 19. Your balance card. Nourishes and stabilizes you as you go. Hydrogen, limitless possibility. Yeah. And finally, your future and service card. Gives you insight about integrating service as you evolve. Oxygen, evolution. As you evolve, you have your foundation, you have your evolution. All right, let's look from above. Okay. So here we have our cards. See if I can back out any more from this. Okay. So here we have our cards. Okay. Just make a slight adjustment. So here we have our cards. Beginning here with your foundation, carbon. So I'm going to grab the guidebook for a few insights here on carbon. So I'll do some massive editing here. Okay, so let's switch cameras and have a look from above. All right, so let's begin with the foundation, and your foundation is carbon, the foundation. So let's get some insight on what this means. So carbon atoms are the building blocks of life. This card activates your ability to feel the carbon atoms within you, pulsing, radiating, and seething with energy, with life force. Life would not exist without carbon. So what they've put on here is the goddess Parvati, who creates miracles and enhances health and longevity. Carbon as a being dwells in no mind and has no judgments. She's bringing you that foundation. There's no good, bad, evolved, or uninvolved, just the present moment. So just being in the present moment, not worrying about past, not worrying about future, not worrying about anything but the present. Staying focused. And that's your foundation. You have this ability to stay focused on what's going on in the here and now. And that's really fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. So let's look on to your forward momentum card, fluidity, vanadium. So the unique thing about vanadium is that it absorbs very few neutrons, unlike other atoms. So it makes it a superconductor. It atomically makes a bridge where most substances cannot. So, in a mystical sense, this brings fluidity so you can touch both sides of the proverbial atomic mirror, which is what our character here in the picture is doing. The chosen character is the Celtic goddess Queen Mab. She is the embodiment of constant twilight, where matter's luminous energy and matter is luminous and energy is solid. She's made of fluidity and also incarnated on the other side of the proverbial mirror and is its caretaker. It's made of the etheric vibrational vanadium. So not only is Mab the keeper of the mirror, but she is the mirror. So the vibrational healing message here is that vanadium is here to help you release old cognitive frameworks and open you to newness and make your thinking fluid. So we go from this position of carbon, which was the foundation, being in the present moment. Being able to move forward from the present moment takes mental and psychological fluidity. So the acceleration to this is some acceptance, dysprosium. And so dysprosium eases strife and brings acceptance. There's nothing to say or do, nothing to be or pretend to be, and no illusion to live within, just acceptance of self and life. In the image, we have the Chinese philosopher Confucius with esoteric knowledge about self mastery. And the concepts of Confucius can help you to profound levels of acceptance, which propel you forward to the next choice to step off the wheel of karma. Okay, so let's look at the cards from above. So here we begin with the foundation card, with carbon, which is the foundation. And the idea is that carbon is the foundation of all life. We are carbon-based life forms. And so this kind of introduces the idea that life is your foundation. And so we have the goddess Parvati here, who is embodying focus and being present-minded. So your foundation is very strong because it's founded in the principles of life and focus on the present, focusing in the present moment. So that's a really, really good foundation. So your way forward though is to have some fluidity, and that is card 41 here, Vanadium, which the persona here is Queen Mab from the Arthurian legends. And she represents the fluidity between this reality and the next, the material and the esoteric. So she has the ability to cross those boundaries. And that's what this card is encouraging for you, to be fluid, to be, yes, focused on the present and what has manifested, but also realize that part of the way forward is to envision what you want to manifest, to be able to see the possibilities and to be fluid between, yes, this is what is and this is what's now, and also be able to embrace what could be. Because that can be very, very powerful when you're looking at from a perspective of manifesting, is to be in that vibrational state of what you want to happen, to 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 speak those things that are not as if that so they are, to quote ancient philosophers. Anyway, so this is activating your dharma, your destiny. The acceleration card, what's saying yes? And we have dysprosium, acceptance, and on here we have the philosopher Confucius. So there has to be a certain amount of accepting your dharma. There has to be a certain amount of accepting your role in creating that path. You're the one that has to be fluid. You're the one that has to envision it for yourself so that you can move forward. And Confucius he's not the kind of philosopher that pulls any punches. He's very into that sounds so trite. He's very into. His writings are very reflective of the acceptance of accountability and responsibility, and and knowing what those things are, knowing who you are in yourself. And so there's a bit of self acceptance here too. Confucius doesn't make any excuses, and neither should you. Just accept what is, no problem. Accept what could be as well. So, moving on from what's accelerating you, acceptance. Striking forward from that, what brings you balance? What stabilizes and nourishes you as you grow? And hydrogen. Hydrogen is a highly energetic element. It is the basis of all atomic energy, of all atomic elements, is hydrogen. One electron, one proton. Throw some neutrons in there, you can have heavy hydrogen, but that's a different story. But it's the most fundamental of all elements, and it's the beginning of possibility. It's the ace of any suit and every suit of a deck of cards, particularly, in my thought, tarot cards. So, looking at hydrogen here as your balance, and the balance is putting energy towards what you want to happen. And being aware and having a good foundation of being present minded, but also being able to see those possibilities and get excited about them, being able to raise that vibration, being able to push forward mentally, psychologically, energetically into something new. And that something new is your own personal evolution. Where you're going is the journey. It's not so much getting to a destination, it's finding your path along the journey. It's being fluid to the situations that you're faced with and to the possibilities that you want to happen. So it's being able to place yourself mentally into the positive feeling of higher level possibility, and accepting the potential of not just what is, but what could be. And the balance of that is energy. Lots and lots of energy here with the hydrogen. And that putting all of these things in motion helps you to grow as a person and as a being. And so this is the idea that you keep moving forward, and this kind of becomes more of a cycle. We'll just rearrange things a little bit. And you have the foundation, fluidity, acceptance, energy, growth. Foundation, fluidity, acceptance, energy, growth. And it becomes this cycle. As long as you maintain it, using this energy to grow, to be fluid to higher level situations, to accept, apply energy, grow. It becomes really a cycle of continual growth here for you, putting these things together. Now I'm going to look in the little book. Let's see. Oh, I think we had an archangel here. I didn't mention that. We had Archangel Metatron, and then the Celtic goddess Rhiannon right here. Now, it doesn't mention this in the book, but from what I've read, I thought Rhiannon was a warrior goddess. So you've got some inner fight, but also you want to make sure that what you're working on is just causes for your personal development. You want to make sure that you're working in the appropriate space for yourself. There you go. Okay, so one of the things that she mentions in here, let's look up 19. Okay. Acceptance. So she says dietary sources, none needed. All right, let's look up 41. Let's see if she's got a dietary source for that. You don't need to eat it, you already have it. Okay. 241. All right. All right, so vanadium is an essential trace mineral contained in fish. I embody fluidity. My being is fluid, and the benevolent flow of life brings me joy and light. So there you go. Eat your fish, but also the mantra. I like that. I'm going to read it again. I embody fluidity. My being is fluid, and the benevolent flow of life brings me joy and light. Be fluid because flexible is just too rigid. But yeah. Okay. Alrighty then. So we have, what was, I think, designed to be a pyramid in the book. I'm like, well, in this context, it makes it a nice little cycle, a cycle of continual growth. Now, continual growth does take energy. You got to have energy. But the universe is providing that energy. It's there, it's limitless. You take in the energy and you grow and you continue to flow into the next phase of growth. Simple, but sometimes simple things are the most profound. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please hit like. If you like this type of content, please subscribe. I am going to follow this up with a couple of videos next week, another review and another reading, so I hope you will join me for those videos. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.